Welcome back to another No Limits video. In this video, so we're back on, keep working on the big green Jeep here. And since getting it running, the motor was unknown. So finding out a few little things about it. And what I think's going on is, as you can see, all this guard and everything pulled off. I think it has a leaking injector. So I found it won't keep prime on the fuel system, and if you start it, turn it off for 10 minutes and start it again, it has a big cloud of white smoke and a very strong unburnt diesel smell. So I'm suspect that one of my injectors is actually dripping, and so I'm going to pull the injectors out of this, and I have actually bought a diesel injector tester. Yeah, I bought a common rail diesel injector tester, so I'm going to whip the injectors out of this thing and take them over and actually run them through the tester and see if I have a leaking injector. Now, to pull the injectors out of the Mighty 1VD actually involves pulling the rocker covers off. So all the injector lines here go inside the rocker cover, and the injectors are actually inside the cover. Which the DPF ones, the later ones, they actually made the injectors external, but this being an earlier engine, they are internal to the rocker covers. So anyway, I'll whip this rocker cover off and show you what's inside there. Alright, so you got to dig these seals out before you actually pull the rocker cover off, or you'll wreck the seal because they get caught on the lines going into the injectors. You should replace them anyway, but I'm going to try and get away without doing it. And that's the rocker cover off. And that's how the injectors come out. So just whip him out like that. And then I'll get the other 3 out and we'll take them over the bench and check them out. Righto, so that's those 4 injectors out, not all of them, just the 4 for the passenger side. We'll go through and test these and see how they look. And from there we'll decide if then we'll end up doing the other side, just to make sure all 8 injectors are good. So, anyway, this is the No Limits high-tech diesel testing facility. So, yeah, it's pretty basic. Put the injector on the end of this hose here, which I've got them laid out here in the order they came out of the car. So we'll start with, this would be number 1 for that bank. Get a little dust cap off to prevent contamination. Screw our injector on. So that's our injector in. Pump the air up. There we go. You can see there it was about 3,000 psi, and the injector doesn't appear to be dripping. Now we'll plug it in, turn a little box on, swap them over to Denso injectors. Then literally run them. So, see how it goes, showing the spray pattern. Bit hard to see on camera, but it was a nice pattern coming out of that injector, so we'll just move on to the next one and keep doing that till we find one that's not okay. Alright, I'll just bring you in and show you this. I've tested the 4 on that passenger side bank and they tested fine. I've put it all back together. So just pulling apart the driver's side here. Actually pulled the whole front end off just to make it a bit easy to work on. But I did notice as I was pulling it apart that number 1 is nice and full of fuel. Number 3 is full of fuel. Number 4. Number 2 is empty. So I'd be interested to see this injector when I actually get it out. I wonder if that is my issue. So I'll keep going. I'll get this rocker cover off and get these injectors out, and I'll show you as we go to test them. Really not happy with the spray pattern of that particular injector, so we'll keep testing now and see what the rest are like. This is number 2. This is the second one from the driver's side bank. Oh wow. That's my injector issue right there. See that? Won't even hold pressure. that's the problem. So this injector is the issue I've been chasing. Yeah, like I said, it's not even holding pressure. As soon as you start pumping up, fuel's just running out of it. If I'd tried to drive this thing, I would have destroyed that engine. So it's a good thing we found this now. The test has definitely paid for itself. So I'll continue testing the other two that I've got here out of this side, and then I'll go through my spare injectors and pick a good injector and swap those into it. Alright, so we run the 4 through from this side of the engine. These 3, to be honest, are terrible. This one, I'll give you a good indication compared to the rest of them. Turn the tester back on here. This one has a nice spray pattern and is actually working like it should. So this injector will go back in the engine, and I'll go through my spare injectors and find another 3 that are going to test up alright, and we'll put those in as well. Alright, so like I said, that last injector tested up fine. So that means I've got 3 injectors that are pretty average in this driver's side bank. So that's the 3 there that are no good, that I don't feel comfortable putting these back in my motor. Now we get to go through these 7. There's some extras that I've acquired over the years, and we'll throw them on the tester. And we'll pick out 3 good ones from here and put them in. Alright, so that's got all the injectors back in it. Yeah, it jumped ahead a little bit. So you didn't have to watch me painfully put it all back together. Everything's hooked back up, so we'll crank this thing and see how it sounds. Right, as I'm editing this video, I realised I didn't actually do an ending to it. So yeah, so that's all the injectors have been tested now. It's got 8 good injectors in it, and it's running really well. So I'm stoked with how it goes, how it's going. Fire straight up. Yeah, so really happy with the that tool was definitely worth purchasing. It really goes to show that it's worth testing those injectors. If I decided just to run it, I would have killed this motor and been up for another motor. Yeah, ideally you'd just go and put 8 new injectors in it and be done with it. But my budget doesn't really allow for me to do that at the moment. So down the track I probably will put new injectors in it. And yeah, but until then, it's going to run fine the way it is. So anyway, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, it helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't, because yeah, we're almost at the 1,000 subscribers. I'll keep saying it because I'm close but not there. Yeah, share it around, see if I can get a few more views on this one. But anyway, we'll see you in the next one.